Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison, with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison Rosen. Allison's your new best friend.
Hey everyone. Hi. Hello. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is your new best friend. I'm sitting here in my studio with Nora Smith and her dad, Pete Smith.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, you had a look on your face like I thought maybe you were going to correct me.
No.
Okay.
I feel like I don't usually sound like this. I know I've been talking about it a lot. I normally have a normal voice, but I am hoarse.
Yeah. And I said to you, I think people will be like, ooh, who is that sexy siren?
Yes.
Or
Betty Davis has.
Weirdly, her mother said the same thing.
Yeah. She's always been after me.
Yeah. God, give it up.
Chasing around the house.
She's earned it. Yeah.
Or it depends. By the end of the show, we'll have to reassess because they all I feel like there's a fine line between, and I don't mean to get you in your head about your voice, but there's a fine line between sexy siren. Yeah, I guess you are. And oh, that sounds painful.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Like that poor girl.
Right.
Someone let her lay down,
But does it hurt?
Third is,
No.
is she going to make me sick?
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's what I'm worried about, but I don't think that's going to happen because I'm so late into it.
Yeah.
It's just I haven't been hoarse in 5 years, and then the first time I ever do a podcast in my
It's already
life.
happening.
You're the one.
It's already happening.
Okay.
When I lose my voice at the beginning, I'm like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like, you can experience yourself differently.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and hello, Tony Thaxton.
Hi.
All right. I didn't explain who you guys were.
No, just randos.
I mean, people know that you're a daughter and a dad,
Yeah.
but they
And
don't.
that's all they
That's
need
it.
to
Yeah,
know.
I said, bring me a couple people who are related.
Off
Just
the street.
anyone.
Yeah.
Yes. So Nora
On
Smith
Hollywood Boulevard. Yes.
is writer and showrunner of Bob's Burgers.
Co-showrunner with Lauren Bouchard, the creator.
I mean, yes, that's true, but that's not how Wendy Molyneux presented you.
I know.
Yeah, she lied.
Yeah, she
What
did.
she does.
Should I go?
Yeah. And then your husband is Tall John. And I feel like if you listen to a podcast, you know who Tall John is. Do you know who Tall John is?
I've met him before. Yeah.
You have?
I
Okay.
have, yeah.
Very tall.
And he has a podcast.
Yeah, I know. Two Johns don't make a right.
And John Daly.
I pitched myself on Instagram for that podcast. And John Daly was like, I think it was John Daly, not your husband, John.
I don't know the difference.
One's taller, I think. Yes. It's kind of
Yeah,
it.
one's taller.
Who drives when they interview
John
people?
drives our van.
Okay.
That he thought it'd be really funny to get a license plate that says fartvan.
Oh, it is funny.
So it says fartvan. It is funny. And he was like, I can't believe I got it. And I was like, I think that makes a lot of sense that that's available. So now that's our family car and I drive it all the time. I have to valet places with it and other moms looking at me and moms and
Oh, do I ever? Do I ever?
Yeah.
I know we're kind of joking, but also kind of not.
Yeah.
Are you on, Pete? Don't worry. I'm going to introduce you in a
fine.
second. Are
I
you?
just drifted off it.
Are you on any mom boards?
I'm a little nervous to
They're
do
awful.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime I look for advice online, which is a great place to go for advice to be a mom, there's so much shaming that it's but also sometimes you see the moms be like, hey, she's just trying her best. And I feel like that weight maybe is the same as the just mean meanies that they have some serious sadness going on when they go online to.
Maybe there's the same number, but when you're on the receiving end of it, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. I do it to myself so much that I don't need to go online
Right.
to have someone do it to me.
You don't need to outsource the shame.
No.
And
It's
then
full-time.
Pete Smith, longtime comedy writer, silly songwriter. Did you do some producing?
Yes. I
Producer.
produced- I did.
And then right now, lyricist. I said right now as if you just started doing this. Long time. I'm not sure the length of time that you've been a lyricist, but certainly not just for this album. Has an album coming out Gonzales Smith, Roll Up a Song, which you were the lyricist for, and then Jay Gonzales of Drive By Truckers,
Yes.
who is your musical soulmate, I've been told.
Yes. And my best friend.
He's your best friend, too?
Yes. Yeah.
That's
And
so
my
sweet.
new brother. Yeah.
He did the music and the singing on this album.
Yes.
And I've been listening to it, and it's stuck in my head. I've got a lot of questions about it. And I'm just going to start with the first one, which is, many of the songs are a little racy.
Which ones?
Let's see. Okay. Well, gelato, there's creamy stuff on your lips.
Yes. That's a lot of sweet things.
What is Brazilian sugar about?
That's about cunnilingus.
Okay, right.
That's
and
a
then
tough one for me.
let's see, what else do I?
I say that. I actually, when I sent that lyric to Jay Gonzales to write it, I said, I think this should be a bossa nova. And he said, I always wanted to write a bossa nova about cunnilingus. So, 2 birds with 1 stone.
And I'm excited about hearing about all of that. Like just getting into it with my dad.
That's why. Yes, I'm not a prude. I love a bossa nova about cunnilingus. This is like in my top 5 bossa novas about cunnilingus that I'm constantly talking about. But because your daughter's here, I have to ask, how do you feel about this?
I mean,
Your dad's a man of the world.
it's kind of the way it's always been.
I've seldom been called that.
There's like
Man around the house.
Yeah.
Occasionally. Not a man of the world.
There's the joke that he would, like, my mom would say things my father never said because there was sort of a lack of boundaries as far as
Right. Well, I worked
cunnilingus is thrown every which way growing up, and
I worked at Adult Swim with a bunch of sort of rowdy people, and so we always just said the most foul things we could think of.
let's
And
see
I
what our
brought
kids
that
think
home.
of this.
Yeah, I mean, let's just fact check that. Are you saying you were a clean guy before you started working at Adult Swim, and
know
then
if
it
that's-
changed you?
I don't know if that's true.
Never.
You blamed Adult
But
Swim.
I'd like to know what other racy songs.
Okay, so roll up a song.
That's
Let's
a
just
nice
go through.
song.
That seems wholesome. Wholesome even. And I just found out, so I must tell the listeners, roll up a song is something that Nora's elder daughter said, and that's where you got that lyric.
Yes.
Roll up a joint was what she said. Dad
Right.
switched out songs.
It's not true.
Lexington line, that seems pretty innocent, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And now the Lexington line, where is this?
It's in New York.
Okay.
I used to live there. That's where that came from.
Got it.
I went to school there.
You went to Pratt.
I did.
Yeah. How was that?
It was great.
Excellent.
That's where he met.
That's where I
the
met
Lexington
my wife.
line.
That was another
Margaret of the Cunnilingus,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or maybe that's not
That's
just
not
her.
a cunnilingus song.
They
No,
all have
but-
a little bit of kind of.
A little bit. At the end.
Okay, she's my girl.
That's sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Forgetting you, wistful.
It is.
It's painful.
Has some nice Los Angeles references in it.
I grew up in Orange County. I'm sorry. You also make a Crystal Cove reference.
Yes. I love
There's
Crystal Cove.
well-traveled man of the world.
Yes. Man around the house, man of the world.
Gelato, X, Triple X.
I love that song.
It's a good one. Kiss is good.
I don't
This
not
is where you're
like
talking
any
about
of the
your-
songs. I love all the songs.
Kiss is good is about your kissing prowess,
Yeah.
but you're not very confident
I'm
in it.
denigrating it.
Why?
Well, I mean, it's
Why,
probably,
Dad?
I've been told.
Nora said you're great.
We're working on it. God.
That's
Does that mean
awful.
Mom? Does that mean
You're
Mom
the
told
racy
you?
one.
I
here.
know, I am.
Does
You're
that
reading
mean?
things and Forgetting You is a really sweet song, and there's nothing.
No, there's nothing racy in that one.
But wait, did Mom tell you you were a bad kisser?
She's the one. She's
Yeah.
not a great kisser.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
This is a
She's not even here to
bombshell.
defend
I meant
herself.
she's a great kisser.
Does she know you feel that way?
No, she knows. I always tell her what
She-
a great kisser she is.
That's how
Yeah,
you do
and
it.
she's going to listen to this podcast for sure. So
Anyway,
Okay, then Margaret,
yes.
about your mom.
no,
Oh,
my mom is Pat.
Oh,
Margaret is a song
But he did
about-
write a song about my mom. in
There are
the
a few
old
songs on there
album.
basically from the point of view of people who don't think they deserve their wife.
Which is true.
Which is true. I don't.
Everyone agrees that he doesn't.
I'm married up.
Something I read said your spouse was Margaret. So
No.
I think that I don't know if it was IMDb or.
I am just have been.
Wait,
no.
so who's Margaret then?
It's just a made up name.
Okay.
My wife's name is Pat.
Got it.
And you did write a song called Patricia on the Gary McFarlane album in this.
Right. I made another album like in 1971.
Mm-hmm. And Gary McFarlane, well-known jazz guy that I didn't know about, but I'm not super versed in jazz.
I
Right.
didn't know. About
Have you heard of
either.
him? Okay, Tony is a musician as well.
I don't know my jazz very well, though.
No, but wasn't your dad a jazz drummer?
No.
That was a long time ago. I mean, we made the record in 1971, and he died right after that.
Was
Well,
it related?
from embarrassment? Did he? But who was he friends with?
Oh, God.
Like who was
There-
he?
Right?
Who was he? Like
He
who
was
are
a
the people he
big
was
deal
friends with?
guy in New York. He knew Bill Evans and Dizzy Gillespie and
Oh,
all
cool.
those guys. Yeah, he was. I mean, I was just young. I was just out of college. I was really stupid. I'd like to do that all over again.
He's like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't,
Dumb
it's a
guy.
crazy story.
If you have a
Yeah.
segment called
I don't
"Things
know.
I'd Like to Do," it would be I'd like to do that all over again. That's what
Things
I
I'd like to do. I should have a segment called that. Yeah, I did just pull a giant hairbrush off the table and stick it under the table because I suddenly got embarrassed that I left a hairbrush on the table.
I was immediately like, I wish I
Could brush
had
your
used that while I had the chance.
So Nora's a songwriter too.
I didn't know that.
I mean,
You're so humble. I barely know you, but I feel like you're humble in the small amount of time I've known you.
it's a Catholic thing. You're just supposed to hate yourself all the time.
She writes songs for Bob's.
Bob's has a lot of songs.
I know that.
A
I
lot
know.
of
You
songs.
haven't you had full musical episodes?
Yeah. And we had 2 songs in the movie. And yeah, it's really fun. I mean, I think the reason that I have any knack for it is because he did it all the time around the house. And then I would like sometimes not really help. Maybe I wanted to help. But like I sort of, and also he was like my music guy growing up where he would put on all the records that like, I love 80s music because of him. Like I love Randy Newman because of him, who I think is the best songwriter. But like he was kind of like, curated like basically my exact musical taste minus like a brief Coldplay stint, which you never would have dabbled in or something.
I would never have
Is
approved
like
of that.
is off of him. Like I've done no work myself. I don't think. But that's because I love his taste in music so much. But anyway, he contributes, and he loves musicals. He's a big musicals
I love
guy.
musicals.
I do.
And so it was always seemed fun to write for, musical-y, like, this is what I'm feeling now type songs.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to college, most of my record collection was original cast albums.
Like,
Yeah.
what are
So-
some of your favorites?
Gypsy, West Side Story, Flower Drum Song, Sound of Music.
Guys and
That
Dolls?
era ones.
Oh.
Not any of the ones like
Cats.
or
Mm.
We were raised to
Les.
hate cats.
Yeah. Animals and the Musical.
I have a real penchant for Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do you hate him or do you just hate cats?
I hate him.
Like all the AL dub?
I don't hate him. I'm not interested in any of
Okay.
his musicals.
I feel like he's saying he hates them.
Be super honest. My dad is very super honest about
That's
everything.
good.
all the
That's
time.
good. No one, especially on a podcast, no one
Yeah.
wants diplomacy.
I met this. I am super honest about everything. I'm compulsively candid.
That's
But
good.
I met this famous actor a few weeks ago, and he's in a show, and I said, I don't really like that show. And like everybody who was in the room has told me that is the stupidest thing.
There's
you've
no
ever said."
point to bring it up.
Right.
There's no point. He doesn't need to know. Doesn't
Were
help
you
him
trying
out.
to let him know that you're a straight shooter?
I don't know why I said no. It was just
It's compulsive.
stupid. It was.
I think it's a
It was
compulsive.
just some people. It was just a stupid remark that came out.
What was his reaction?
Slapped
His
him.
reaction was
Slapped him in the face.
kicked me in the groin. He was great. He didn't say anything at all. As a matter of fact, he wrote me a really nice email about what a pleasant person I
See?
was.
For real?
Thankfully, he was.
Yeah,
like,
he did.
But he
This is
was-
you
this is a
charmed him.
famous person. Can I say
Yes,
who it is?
please.
His name is, he was the original Tommy in the Broadway
Oh.
production of Tommy.
Who I feel like I should know who that
His name
is.
Michael. It's a complicated second name.
Okay.
He's never going to listen to this. Maybe he will.
Probably.
But he was in Mindhunter.
Oh,
My parents are big Mindhunter
Michael.
fans.
I didn't
Michael
watch.
from Mindhunter.
No, I didn't watch the second
He's
season.
in
Jonathan Groff was in that. And he's a musical.
The Gilded Age. He's in that.
Michael Tony. Can you look up?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in a couple of Stephen's Son. He's
What
really,
show is he in now that you don't like, or do you not care to say?
I don't care to say.
Oh. And I won't either, I guess. It's a fine show and a lot of people like it.
Hamilton
Oh, Gilded Age.
is the name of the show.
Yeah.
That's a musical now. Oh, you were saying you don't
No.
care for it.
He's
Oh,
just acted in it.
oh.
This guy just acted
We watched
in
the
it.
show and we just didn't grab onto it right away. So we watched a couple episodes and I was stupid enough to tell him exactly that. And he was really gracious about it. He didn't say what a stupid thing to say. He just said,
I thought it was a musical you were saying you don't care for, but you're like really shitting in your industry. I love it.
Yes.
well, it's no longer my industry.
Right.
So I can do that.
Yes.
That's the freedom that comes
retired.
with retirement.
Right.
But thankfully, he was in Mindhunter, which you are like one of the number one fans of, so you can tell him.
Mindhunter he was
You're
in
not.
Mindhunter. So.
Well, yeah, you're not a
Who
failure.
did he play in Mindhunter, though?
He played the boss in the second season.
Oh.
Did you look him up?
I watched the beginning of the second season.
You said Michael something, right?
Yeah, Michael from Mindhunter and the Gilded Age.
I know. I didn't see a Michael in Gilded Age.
That's not a lot to go on.
Well, that gets
You're
me off the hook. I can say anything about it I want.
Right.
Did you like the first season of Mindhunter?
I did.
Is it real dark?
It's so I take it you have not watched it.
No, but I've been hearing some pressure.
It's dark.
It's dark. Yeah, it's dark. I can't handle things that are like extremely creepy or disturbing, and I was okay with it.
Okay.
So
Did
yeah.
you watch Blackbird?
No.
Okay. That's the one, the newer one that's about like, it's just one serial killer. The guy infiltrates prison to like befriend him. And like won some, I think it was nominated for some Emmys and stuff.
Should I watch it?
Yeah, I think it's good, but it is creepy. I found out like almost at the end, like a dope that it was based on a real, like this all really happened.
Oh, that
So I
makes
was
it
like,
worse.
oh, those girls are really dead and buried and no one ever found them or whatever.
Yeah.
That's true. That's sort of a
So
spoiler.
much more fun.
That's a huge spoiler.
What?
But
That it's real?
That it's real.
that they never got found.
Oh, maybe they did. A couple of them did. The good ones did.
A couple of them, their feet were sticking up.
And they were
Right,
fine.
yeah.
They weren't even dead. They were okay. They were just
tired. Looking for someone quiet to nap. Yes.
Have you watched The Leftovers?
I've watched. I love it. I love the. I mean, not. I don't love. I'm okay with Leftovers. I love that we're talking about television because I have something to
Good.
say about the
Yeah.
most recent season of True Detective. I've got a lot to say.
Yeah.
Okay. I watched a few seasons of The Leftovers. I didn't watch the last one, which I heard was the best.
How many are there?
We only watched the first, and
Two or
it was on our queue forever.
there's
and I
5.
was like,
That's
it
a lot.
seemed. All of the comments said that I feel terrible after every episode.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, why would I want to watch that? But
Right.
then we watched it, and I thought it was great first season.
But you didn't continue.
Well, I think we took a break in between seasons because it was kind of
Like a very long break.
well, a couple of weeks.
They
Oh,
were
you
late.
did- oh, you
They're
did
late to the
continue.
left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so you watched it all the way to the end?
Yes.
Oh.
But we did just watch the finale of Night Country.
Yes. Okay.
I have not seen the finale.
Okay. So there will be.
You want to spoil it for Nora?
Well, I feel like
okay.
we shouldn't spoil
It's
Go
because
okay.
outside and blow your nose for a while.
it's fresh. You know what? It's fresh enough that listeners might not have watched it. So let's not spoil it.
Okay.
Let's just say, let's just give our opinions of what we thought of the season.
I thought the season was wonderful. I loved it. Every bit of it.
Really?
Yep.
Even you felt great about all those hours you spent watching it by the
Yeah.
end?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Well, I mean, I can't think of 1 hour that every hour was a
Interesting.
pleasure. You didn't like it.
So,
you wouldn't be asking me those questions if you.
No, I wouldn't. You're right. I feel like annoyed at the show.
From the beginning or the
No, I was in for a while, but the way it wrapped up, I felt like was a bit of a cop out. That being said, I really enjoyed Kelly Reese and Jodie Foster and the actors, and like I enjoyed spending time with them. And I'm not upset about that, but I want a whodunit. to me, it was very suspenseful. It was also kind of scary, but I don't have, that's not a problem with the show. That was just, I was like, I didn't love that. But I want to feel like they really solved it. And it's like, there's an answer, but I felt like it was a little bit like pick a lane.
They didn't really solve it.
Yeah, that was my issue with it.
As
But,
someone
I mean,
who hasn't
and I
seen
think as somebody who, because I worked on some shows at Adult Swim and Nora's works on shows, if you work on a show, you always look for holes in continuity and like, this doesn't make sense, that character. It's got a lot of that.
Yes.
There are a lot of things wrong with it in terms of the structure of it, but the performances are so great and it looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, how did they even shoot that show?
Yeah,
I know,
setting
in
is the best
Iceland.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, it takes place in this fictional town, Ennis, Alaska. And for part of the year, it's dark all the time. And so it takes place when it's dark all the time. My brain was having trouble processing that because I just kept thinking they're doing everything at night. And I was like, my God, aren't they tired?
No, they're like having breakfast at night in the restaurant.
There's a lot of continuity things where like they'll do 85 things in one day.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you. The performances were good. It was a ride, but all the holes and things did bother me. Okay. So we're on the same page. Your
Holes
dad and
don't
I are on
bother
the
me
same
that
page. Okay. Do they bother you? Yes. Isn't that what some of these are about?
No.
I'm worried that it's
Yes, that is a water for you.
that if they set up all this supernatural-ish stuff, and if that's just does not come to fruition, I worry that'll be a little.
No, it does.
There's a thing.
Or it doesn't. It could really go either way. That's the thing.
There's a thing at the ending which could go either way, which is kind of a huge thing.
Yeah, but I decided.
Was that the whisper?
Yeah.
The walking.
giving it away. Anyway.
But I feel like only one. I was saying to my husband, I think only one reading of that kind of makes sense. And then he's like, yeah, but even that doesn't really make sense. We'll talk later.
It is hard to do a big old finale at the end to stick it.
Yeah.
You know who did a good finale? Are you a Slow Horses person? Holy smokes.
Wait,
Slow Horses?
what is Slow Horses?
It's on Apple
Gary
TV.
Oldman.
I haven't
Bunch of
seen it.
British
So
people.
good.
Oh, maybe I need to
So
see it.
It's
good.
like a spot like MI5 show, which I would be like, meh. But like it's like funny and fun. It's really
It's great.
fun.
It's a
Okay.
great show.
And season 3 is like fantastic.
I gotta see it. You know, an
There's
ending.
only 6 episodes in a season too, so
One of those. You know, a finale that I thought, yeah, emotionally that just feels right. Homeland. Did you see that show?
Never watched it.
It was. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Did you watch it, Tony?
I watched the first couple of seasons. I didn't stick with it.
Okay.
now there's
I liked it for a
there's
while.
there's so many episodes. There's like 14 seasons of it or something like that.
I think there are a lot.
yeah.
It was a
Maybe
good
not
ending.
so
that
if you decide,
I
hey,
thought so.
let's watch Homeland.
Yeah.
Wait, it's going to take up the whole year of our life.
Well, that's like I've never seen, and people can't believe I've never seen Con Air. No, I've never, but I've also never seen The Wire.
The Wire is great.
Really?
That's what I see. I get this reaction, but my understanding is it takes 3 seasons to get into it.
No, I like. Who said such a thing? I like the
I'm
first
sorry,
season.
I shouldn't have said. I think that's really rude. Like when you said you haven't seen The Wire, and I said,
know.
"Really?
That's okay.
That's kind of like,
That's
what kind of a person are you?"
Yeah,
Well, we had this whole discussion about it.
Philistine.
Mark. You were like, someone did that to you.
Dave,
and you were like,
Dave Willis did that to me, who was a
the
space
Adult
coast
Swim
writer,
guy.
and he asked me what.
An Adult Swim guy.
An Adult Swim guy, and he said, "Are you watching Breaking Bad?" And I said, I tried it and I didn't like it. And he goes, "What?"
you're not allowed to have
Really?
that opinion.
And he came in my office later and he apologized because he said, that's like when I say that, I'm basically telling everybody around the coffee machine that you're not as smart as all of us.
Wow,
Just
that's
to
so
say-
He was probably
self-aware.
right, but
After I heard this whole discussion, you have done that to me because they watch every single show that exists ever.
that's what you call retirement.
And it's like a job for him. It's like, let me and I honestly, I wish I lived in a house that put that much weight on it because I feel like we're like, office reruns. I guess I'm so tired. Like I'd love someone to like have shows for me to watch. Anyway, There was like specifically that show, The Detectorist, the metal detector show.
There's a
You stopped loving me
I
as
do it all the
much
time.
when I didn't like that show. You were like,
What is the matter with you?
maybe you're not. Yeah, exactly. You did the same exact
what-
How could you not get that show?
That's a reality
Yeah.
show, right? Or-
No,
No.
it's the guy from the British Office, Gareth, and another metal detector, and they're just metal
Toby
detecting.
Jones.
It's a scripted show, and it didn't grab me, and that's okay.
It's about
We
two,
could still-
two guys who have metal detectors.
Yeah, I riveted.
Sold. Are you sold? And my whole
And
family
they never
too.
find anything.
My mom, my brother.
better.
Makes it even more.
Is it like a Waiting for Godot kind of thing, or no?
I never understood why.
Is it
The
so? It's a
love.
comedy.
Oh, that's open to
What is it?
Yeah, why did you like it so much? Why'd you judge me so
it's-
much for not liking it?
Well, it's British, so I always assume those shows are better. Mm-hmm. But it's like the guy from The Office and Toby Jones, who I can't name
think
the
I know who
movies
that
he's
is.
been, but he's a little British guy who's really good. And they're in this detectorist club, guys that go out with metal detectors looking for cool things.
And there's a
I
murder.
mean, how could that show not be
no
interesting?
murder.
Right.
Anyway,
I mean, I could think of some ways.
just to say there is some.
Well,
Some
I mean, next
judgment.
time you're on the beach and you see someone, talk to them.
Find out all the interesting
I
things
mean,
they have
maybe.
to say.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
And it'll take a while. Spend some good long time
Right.
with them.
I will.
That's not the only show I've given you a hard time about.
What else?
No, lots.
I'll tell you
Um,
what, I never give her a hard time about Bob's Burgers. I love Bob's Burgers.
No, and they've always been really supportive about
Good.
that. Yeah, I think they like it more than any of the other parents of people on the show.
That's not just in
I know
Atlanta,
some
that's
people's
in the
parents who
United States.
actively, yeah. Well, I guess.
Oh,
they just
actively
don't-
dislike it?
No, they don't dislike it.
I think
It's
we
just
like it more
anything
than
that's
some of the
racy.
writers on
They deem, bad. Like if there's something.
Wait, did you say anything that's racy they deem bad?
Yeah, we had like
Well,
some.
excuse me, I'm holding up the album
I
right
know.
here.
It's not my parents. It's like
the
some
other. I see.
that
Okay.
I know. Yeah, but I think you may be the only parents that watch it for enjoyment, as opposed to Steven's gonna ask if we watched it, so let's watch it.
I think some of that has to do with, Nora and her husband, who are both really funny. They have a lot to do with the tone of the show, along with Lauren, of course. But, I mean, we're so familiar with Nora's sense of humor that
it's basically just a copy of theirs plus my brother, and that's about it.
my brother, or her brother, my son Matthew, is actually the funniest person in the family.
He is
And what
really
does he
funny.
do?
He did a good thing and became a teacher.
He's doing something worthwhile.
Yeah.
Not in the
he
business.
matters.
Yeah. And he could have done this. I'm always like, you could have but he was like the practical one in college. Was like, I'm going to business school. We went to the same college, University of Georgia. The best college in the country.
The
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs,
Yeah.
yes. I'm the least sports person in the world, so the fact that I know that, Tony.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We've actually, some bad things have happened in the UGA campus lately. Side note, there
One
was
bad thing. Well,
a
no,
murder
couple bad things.
and a suicide.
Whatever.
That
They
was
won 2
before
national
my time.
championships.
That never would happen on my watch.
Yeah.
But so Matt was like, I'm going to business school. And he was like, I want to have a real way to make money. And I was like, I'm going to live in a hostel in Scotland. And then I moved to California and just did shitty jobs and became a TV writer, just like stumbled into it. But anyway, he's a teacher. And then now he's like teaching kids and teachers how to use AI to like
Cheat.
cheat
And
hardcore.
Not just to do there. He has his students doing podcasts and
Really?
like, making movies about.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Wow.
trying to rather than just do. You sit there and I'll talk at you. He's having them do all kinds of.
Yeah.
That's really great.
He's like a really good teacher. And like he's
He
not
is the
scared of
best person
AI.
in the
Like
family.
That's what I'm
no,
getting.
mom. I think mom's the best, and Matt's like right under her.
That's right.
We're
My wife
way
is the best.
down. Yeah.
My wife is volunteers for St. Vincent de Paul. Can I say that?
Ooh,
It's not like a person.
Ooh, lawsuit. No, she works for one guy, St. Vincent. de
She
Paul.
is the best person and
Yeah.
also the most naive person in the family.
Ooh.
She's really upbeat. She's really optimistic.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a lot of questions, but for real, did you want to bleep that out?
No,
St.
I
Vincent de
never
Paul?
know. I had no idea.
I wasn't sure. I was making a note just in case.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe she's like super private or
No.
something.
right. No.
He's a saint.
Yeah.
It's the same.
That's what they say.
St. Vincent de Paul.
What made him a saint? What did he do?
Oh boy.
I think he worked on a TV show.
Not this metal detector
I
one.
don't know.
They would not
That was
canonize
not the
him.
second season.
No. So Pat,
Yeah.
naive. For real?
No. I don't know why you say that. Naive.
take
She's
it back.
just like super optimistic.
She's very sweet. She's
Which
very
is great.
optimistic.
Like when you have little kids and you're like, I'm fucking everything up. And she's like, kids are, just think about this is just today. She's and
Aw,
then
that's
she's
so
like
nice.
she just like always has the right perspective on stuff. She's just super optimistic, always sees the best in people. There was a while where I don't want to get political, but in 2016 where she was like, I'm just trying to like not hate Trump. I just want to try to love him. She gave that up. But like,
Wait, how did
she
gave
like,
that up, but she still says, when I say like all Republicans are bad people, she said, no, they're not. They're mostly good people. They just have a few ideas that are a little weird.
Oh my God,
She
does this
is
create
a saint.
conflict?
Her optimism is suffocating.
That is, there you go. Not for me. I find it, inspirational.
You find it refreshing?
A little hard to
you're
aim for that
because
for
you're
myself.
exposed to it on a very limited basis. If it was
I want mom
every
to live
day.
with me all the time. The only reason I'm not forcing her to is because I know you need her. But she is like, she's amazing. Like, she's an amazing cook. When she comes, like, the kids are like loving it. She deals with their tempers way better than me, I feel like. Like, she's just like the full package. She cooks, she cleans. She's really funny. She helped my dad with some of these songs. Like, she helped you write.
She does. She comes.
Brazilian
She's
sugar.
really funny.
She have a hand in that one.
I don't know.
did.
Did she? God,
She did.
great. That's great.
Dare I ask how?
Well,
even-
we were actually walking. We were walking along downtown Atlanta, and we were going to meet some people at a bar. And there was a sign that said "Free Brazilian," so many dollars. And we just started talking about, hey, that would make a funny song, and that song came along.
We both got Brazilians. Couples Brazilians.
My favorite sign ever. I don't know if I can say this.
Yes, you can.
It was in a.
Can I hear it?
It was.
it's a sign, yeah.
It was at a hairstyling place, and it said "Free Brazilians for cancer patients."
But also, isn't that a little complicated?
Yeah,
Like,
because-
you're going through chemo.
right.
That's like the easiest Brazilian you've ever given.
Yeah. Was this supposed to be a joke? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's really in poor taste.
Great, poor taste.
If it was supposed to be a joke, it's really an interesting
Yeah.
sign. If it wasn't supposed to be a joke, it's still a really interesting
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
That's kind of amazing. You saw that in LA, did you say?
No,
Okay.
Where else do they do Brazilians?
it was in Atlanta. It was right on.
You guys
Doritos
got
Road.
Brazilians now.
How metropolitan. What next?
Why is that a
Sushi?
thing in LA?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
I think
figure,
so.
like-
Extreme.
Come in with your hair all shaved. It's like, get in the chair. You get a free Brazilian.
You know
Yeah.
what a Brazilian is.
I know that's. I'm wondering that too because you pointed to your head. That's not.
Wait, what are you
that's
doing?
not their.
No!
That's not their area. That's not their wheelhouse.
No wonder they're free.
There's a song here called "Did We Make Love?" I missed
Right.
that. I mean,
that's a good one.
Yeah. Yes, and it's about sex.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's based on that's just that's back early on when we were married. I mean, sometimes you just wake up and you just rub up against somebody in the night, and the next thing you know, it's morning, and it's just like, did that happen? Yeah,
Right.
it did. That was great.
Well, you're talking about with mom, not just.
Yeah, not with myself. That's with my wife.
There were some times listening to
You
this
never
album
experienced
where I'm
that at all,
Oh, I mean, perhaps like before we were even married,
right?
but I feel like now we just sleep.
Yeah. Are we ever going to make love?
Yeah.
Well, that's basically what the song is about. Except in the song, I think they call each other different names. So there's play acting.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Right.
like a dream. And then let's see here. Do you really wish you sung like Lindsey Buckingham?
Yes, of course. I love that song.
They're all good.
This Jay Gonzales was telling me that they just did Drybar Tucker's just played a show and he went out in the audience and this 18-year-old girl came up to him and said that she loved the album and that was her favorite song.
Oh, cool.
But she didn't know who Lindsay Buckingham was.
That's hilarious.
Google.
And then Good Morning, Irene. Is that a play on Good Night, Irene?
Yeah.
I felt proud of myself for knowing that.
Did you listen to the song?
Good Morning, Irene?
Yeah.
I did, yes.
I love that song.
I like all of them.
Do you think the wife has left him or she's dead?
Whoa.
Oh my God, I hadn't. So I listened to it to try to figure out, is it a play on Good Night, Irene? But then I didn't realize that she might be dead.
Yeah.
Are you pulling a Night Country? Because you know.
I do know.
Which one is it? Or are you not going to say?
Was she
Well,
killed?
Jay thinks she's just left him and I think she's dead.
Dark.
Yeah.
So, okay. Pete, you went to Pratt.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going back to that. And then what was your plan? Like, what did you want to do career-wise back then?
Well, I mean, I had an animation major and a graphic arts major, so I just wanted to do that. And we ended up doing that. And I just sort of was doing it we ended up in Atlanta with TBS, and I was...
We being you and Pat?
Pat and I, yeah. We met in college and we're still married. God damn it.
But you had your own animation company.
I did.
Gonzales Theater.
I did
Oh, cool.
For a while. But then we were working for TBS and it was just a situation came up with they needed somebody to write something funny. And so I said, well, I'll try it. And then next thing I knew, I was a writer for Space Ghost. I just slid into it.
Love Space Ghost.
Did you?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Absolutely. I was thrilled when Max came out a couple years ago and they had Space Ghost episodes on there. That was like one of the first things I watched on
It's
Max.
a pretty great show.
Yeah. So weird in the best way.
It was really hard to do.
I believe it. I'm kind of
People
fascinated as
always
to
say
how
that.
it's
Cranky
made.
men. Bunch of cranky dudes in an office.
Yeah. We were all cranky.
What
But-
was hard about it?
Well, I mean, do you know the show at all?
It's a figure who hosts a talk show, right?
Yeah. Well, that would be easy. But it's like we basically we would interview real people, and then we would have to write the show around that, create some kind of a storyline because you wouldn't write a storyline in advance. You would just ask them questions. So it was just hard because we'd have to come up with a sort of a joke, and then find a reaction from them that might fit that or an answer. It was hard.
Yeah.
I always wondered how it
puzzle.
was all done. I want to take over the show.
Please, yeah.
Were the interviews? I know the celebrity guest was being themselves, but were the interviews done in character? Or was it just you guys?
They were done in character.
Okay, that's. I always wondered. Yeah, it's such a fascinating show and how it was put together.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to say, I'm going to pretend I'm Space Ghost.
Yeah.
And then you would ask them questions. And we would always write some questions that we knew they couldn't answer. Because there were a lot of, if you watch the show, there's a lot of just puzzled reactions by the guests. And stuff.
Do you have a favorite?
My favorite deer in the headlights question was, have you ever swallowed a bolt? I mean, you can't really answer. It's just like, a what? What? And so that would end up in the show.
But did you have a favorite interview?
I think the one with Odenkirk and Cross.
Mm-hmm.
They were really great.
And did you have anyone that is beloved to you as a musician that just walked out angrily?
Well, yes.
Okay, just wondering.
You must have known this.
She's just feeding me.
No, that's
lines
good though.
now.
That's
I'm
good.
sure, like, there's a lot of good stories about Space
Yeah.
Ghost.
Well, I don't know. Should I say his name?
Yeah.
I think he'll be okay
It was
with
Paul
it.
Westerberg.
Ooh.
It's like my
Who
favorite. Replacements are my
everybody who
favorite.
worked on the show just loved him. And we started asking him some of these dumb questions, and he said, "This is ridiculous," and he left.
I thought Space Ghost was going to be a serious show.
Right. What was he expecting?
I don't know.
I don't know what he was expecting.
He's Paul Westerberg. He's a big old grouch.
He was amazing.
And-
Nora and I both loved the Replacements and loved Paul Westerberg.
So were you able to still use that interview or no?
I think we did one show where we just used like maybe one line from every interview we couldn't use, and so we stuck it in.
Oh, what were some of the other ones that went awry?
Did you have other people walk out?
No, we never had anybody walk out. But some of the interviews that went awry were usually people who tried to be funnier than the show.
Right.
Tried to,
Yeah, I was actually wondering when you said Odenkirk and Cross, who are hilarious, how that went with them since they are funny.
They can't help but do bits.
Yeah, they just like played along, right?
They
I feel
did
like
play.
they were really
They
good at
played
playing
along, but they played along like not trying to be funny. They just they asked Space Ghost to shoot them with his laser gun, and so they kept acting like they were being shot. They were just both really great.
Right.
I mean,
they
they're pretty funny guys.
They're really funny.
I'll go out on a limb and say, yeah, they are. But like,
Bob
don't.
Odenkirk lives in. Oops, I shouldn't say that.
Oh my God!
In a house.
He lives.
Good for him. He deserves it.
But he was getting robbed all the time. Like every time John saw him, he's like, robbed again. It's like, what's happening over there? He almost hit me with a bicycle once too. That's why I started robbing him. But he was like going down a hill. I was walking in the street. He's like a mountain biker guy. And he zoomed, like he almost hit me.
It's so funny.
Moby
that
almost
you're-
hit me with his car too in the same neighborhood.
Oh, I wrote the
It-
show that
it
I wrote the show that
starts to
Moby
be-
was in.
How was that?
It was great. He was great. It was a great guest. But
Yeah,
it was
he
a
probably
show.
didn't try to be
Space
silly.
Ghost in that episode. You might have seen it. He becomes a gas sweeps over him, and he becomes a cannibal, and he starts eating the guest.
I'm sure I have, but it's been a while. Yeah.
Moby was in that show, and he got eaten right away. And then Emo Phillips was in it, and he started doing, maybe doing his act a little bit. So Space Ghost ate him. Space Ghost started calling him Eat Mo. Anyway,
I didn't realize that they didn't
I didn't
When
know
they
when you
first
fed me that line there was going to be so much Space Ghost stuff.
start. I like it. I like it.
Nora, actually, I worked on a show called, Bob's Burgers is so much more interesting than any of this.
Not
stuff.
really. Bob's Burgers is like just a stand. Like I don't know. Not to me. I know a lot about it.
I wear Bob's Burgers hoodies all the time, and people always say, "Oh, I love that show."
I know you're wearing a Bob's Burgers shirt now.
I
He's
am.
really great about
But
it.
if I wear like a Space Ghost shirt or a Cartoon Network,
You just get
shirt,
Tony.
wear your Bob's Burgers shirt.
But they were on a list of like the best comedy rooms, writing staffs.
It's true.
Like Space Ghost was on there and like a really great comedy. I was very proud of.
But it
my
was just-
father.
That's so sweet. But it was just grouchy guys, you said.
Well, yeah, like
None of
Adult
us were
Swim
comedy
was
writers.
like.
Oh, that's so interesting.
But also, like, it wasn't, you were, I think, pretty good about this, but like, it was a room of guys, and this is a lot of comedy shows. I've been really lucky with Bob's. Like, we're all like, we like each other, and we're, it's a pretty nice staff. But like, I want my joke in, and I don't care about anything else. I don't care if it works for the story. I don't care if that joke's funnier. Like, that seemed to be sort of the vibe, a bit of the room. Like, there's a lot of egos that you had to like, you're looking far away, like I'm misspeaking
I'm not
about.
going to say anything bad about
Right.
it.
Okay. But it was just like a different vibe.
But I mean-
it made me terrified about writing.
When
I
you
was
say
like,
you have
I don't have like the
How- now-
constitution to handle someone like
When
being mean to me.
first of all, Bob's has a great writing staff, and they haven't been fired. Ever since
Well,
the
we haven't-
beginning, they're almost all still there.
yeah.
But I used to write a show called Cartoon Planet, which was a kids show using Space Ghost, Zorak, and Brack, and they did little comedy bits that were for kids. And Nora basically grew up on that show. There were had lots of songs in it, and
Very silly.
I think sort of that where the germ was planted for why if a show is going to be a comedy show, it should have some songs in it.
But I never thought that I could do it because it was all guys, It was all guys at Adult Swim.
There's one show called Amelia, which I think was written by Lauren Bouchard. There's
yeah.
a song at the end of it that Nora wrote and actually sings on. The show.
Oh,
It's just
with
one
that
of the
voice?
most.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, it is one of the
hard
most
to
beautiful songs I've ever heard.
oh, that's so sweet.
And that's coming from my dad, so
Yeah.
you know that it's true.
It's objective. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so just so I understand though, before you were a writer on Space Ghost, you had an animation company. Were you doing art? Mm-hmm. And do
Well,
you?
I went to Pratt. And I was,
Right.
Yeah.
There was all these animation cells on our basement.
All over the
on
house.
our den. I don't want to say basement when it's den. Downstairs. And Like, you'd think as like growing up as a person in animation, I'd be like, Daddy, what's this? I did not give a shit. Like, I'd be like, Dad, Mom says it's dinner or whatever, and go back up. Like, I did not take any interest, and I feel
Whatever
so
it
like
is you're doing, stop doing it.
all your silly doodles come up. But like, it's so weird to me looking back that I wasn't like, what is this? But this is also when you had to draw every single thing, and now you just like open up Flash and like blah, 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 and like
Right.
that's
The
how we make
dark ages
pops.
of
Just
animation.
What I don't this is like an essay question, but I'm curious, so I must ask. What do you think it is that makes someone drawn toward animation versus live action?
I know now. Do you want to say? Do you want to say?
I mean, like as a creator, not as a viewer. Although if you have an answer as a viewer,
I don't really watch animation. For me,
I don't
it's
listen
like,
to podcasts.
It's
But I love people who
love
do.
podcasts.
Yeah.
I do
You do?
constantly.
Oh, well, wonderful.
It's a better
You don't
like
mean that.
it's a better day to
I
day.
think it's wonderful that you listen to podcasts.
okay.
Why would she not mean
I
that?
don't know. Suspicious. Just generally
I'm
suspicious.
shifty.
Yeah, seriously. It's better hours because live action. Like, I hate being on a set. I was on a set for like a DIY show in San Francisco. I was like getting lunches and stuff, but I was like, this sucks. I hate lights. I hate lighting, all that stuff. Anyway, you don't have to deal with all that stuff. It's not long days.
Mm-hmm.
I work long days now, but I'm working all the time. But normally for a regular staff writer, it's not long days. If you get the episode back and you're like, oh, that joke didn't work, just rewrite whatever you want. Whatever you want.
You don't have
Punch
to
it till the
reshoot
end.
it.
Yeah. It's so, the board artists don't love it, but like you just rewrite it till the end, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big thing is like you can have Kristen Shaw playing a 9-year-old, which you can't do. I mean, you could try, but it'd be weird. I guess Ben 15 did it pretty good, but
So you mean not having to work with children?
yes, Get enough of that at home. Yeah, so it's like I'm all in on. I don't even know if I can work on a live action.
Mm-hmm. And what about, I mean, besides specifically like lighting, what didn't you like about the set or a set?
I never got the gear stuff. I could never roll a fucking cord the right way every time I did it. It took for we're gonna light this shot, and then like 4 hours later, and like, why does it take so like? But this is back when I had nothing fun to do. It's
And
possible
you depend
that-
on more people to get to the
yeah,
finish line.
you depend on a lot of people.
I mean, you have more control over the whole process.
Oh, in
right?
animation?
I think.
Oh, yeah, lots of control. For someone that likes control, it's a lot of control.
Yeah.
But I mean, John was on Sarah Silverman, and he loved it. He loved being on set. So it's possible if I had like a more fun job than getting lunches, I would have liked being on set more, maybe. I don't know.
What was the show that you were on?
It was a really bad show. It was like an HGTV show, but it was the cheapest show ever where they go to your house and they take what's already there and they put it in a different place. So they like find a scarf and they're like, let's put this in the window. And the homeowner's like, okay, but with staples? Like, it was so cheap. And then the host would cry every episode. She would break down and like need to go, like the guy, Craig St. John, moms worked
Right.
with him at Turner. He would like, it sounds like a bunch of nepotism. I guess maybe he helped me get that job there,
He did.
but I was just logging tapes. It wasn't like, I don't know. Anyway, he would like have to take her in a back room and like calm her down. 'Cause she was like, I don't know where to put this scarf or whatever. I don't know. It's like, and I felt bad for the homeowners, and it was not a great show. That also maybe had to do with something. You know.
Did it ever look good afterwards?
I never watched it.
Why?
It always looked really cheap to me, and I am like a slob. Maybe it did. I don't know. No. I'm going to say no, and if people have responses to that. I don't even remember the name of the show. I don't think it was a hit. But I was logging a lot of tapes.
Hidden Secrets?
Hidden Secrets?
Was that what it was called?
That sounds...
Just spitballing here.
I mean, that sounds
Is
interesting.
it too late
Yeah.
to come up with a name with it?
What weird, like, incriminating things do you have in your house?
Did you ever
that I
hear
could put
about,
up
there was a thing on
decoratively?
TBS called Movies for Guys Who Like Movies?
Yes.
I came up with that.
That's smart.
Thank you.
Hey, where did that come from?
Yeah, what made you think of
What
that?
made you think of that?
Names of shows.
Oh, I see.
Names of shows. I'll take names of shows. For sure.
Okay.
So, right, because you do promos or did promos.
I
You've
did.
retired from that.
I helped.
And
Right.
my mom did them too.
I did promos. I was doing promos for TBS, and then Cartoon Network hired me to come over there and write shows.
Did you enjoy doing that?
I enjoyed doing the promos a lot more than writing on shows. It's too hard.
It's just like a fun little, because he could do whatever he wanted. He could just make a mini little weird movie.
Right.
And
when I was-
basically no oversight.
After I stopped Space Ghost, then I did this show called The Brack Show, and then I was tired of doing that. So then I was in charge of promotion. That was a lot more fun.
That's cool. Now, I'm not familiar with the Brack Show, but I know it had like a big, it's like a cult following show, right?
Right.
What was it about?
It was about this character called Brack, and his
Who was on Space Ghost.
Yeah, it's a Space Ghost
Oh,
spin-off.
okay.
right. It was a Space Ghost spinoff,
Like The
It was-
Simpsons
It
and
was like a
Tracy Ullman.
sitcom.
Yes.
All the open sounded like a sitcom, and every time we came back from commercial, it went da 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 da. It was like they were all sitcom ideas.
Oh, that's cool.
He had a mom. It was just like a mom who looked like him, and then a dad who was human but animated.
And really
Zorak
small.
was his mean friend,
Right,
and Brack was basically like a really sweet kid. Like it was
but it
played
had
by
songs in it also.
Andy Merrill. Yeah, it was a sweet. I mean, it's a fun show. I like it.
Right.
I would watch it right now.
It's good.
Yeah.
Are you
That's
saying you'd
wonderful.
rather be watching it than doing this? So now, when I asked you your bio, you in parentheses wrote Nepo baby.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But really,
What does that mean?
Well,
nepotism baby.
Yeah.
It's like there was an article in, I think, New York Magazine about Nepo babies. And so that term got some.
Well, what does it mean?
Like your Kate Hudson's. That's the
Someone
only one I
whose
know.
parents are famous and that's why they're famous.
Yeah.
Someone who got their
I'm Kate
ins.
Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it was like y'all got me that internship at Adult Swim. But the real thing is like, I moved to San Francisco, and Lauren Bouchard was doing Lucy. No, he wasn't. He was developing Lucy the Daredevil, and my dad sent him an email. Was like, "You should meet with my daughter. She lives in San Francisco." And he had some joke that's
I
like,
threatened him.
"Yeah,
I said, "You have no idea how powerful I am. if you don't hire my daughter."
but don't ask anyone about
Yeah.
this or whatever."
Right. It
was some funny
very
joke.
threatening letter I wrote to Lauren Bouchard.
And so
go
we
ahead.
met for lunch, and he was like, "I don't have a job for you." And I was like, "Great." And because I was working for Current TV then, Al Gore's network, and then I sent him a really dumb script, and he was like,
So
"I don't need this."
you've just met Nora. She's smart, right?
I can tell.
So the thing is Lauren. As soon as Lauren met Nora, it was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with you, but you're really funny and smart, and I'm going to hire you. So it's
Well, that's
it's one
Lauren
thing.
Bouchard's
It's one
thing
thing for
is-
your dad or your mom to help you get an interview, but you have to.
Yeah.
Sell it. Yeah.
you have to have the
Yes.
goods.
At
Right.
this point, I think I can safely say I'm comfortable saying I earned it. But
You're not a nepo baby.
Lauren also like
She's
if
a
he
nepo
meets
woman.
someone,
Nepo
yeah.
woman.
If Lauren meets someone and he likes something about him, he hired like his kid's piano teacher, who is I'm sure is very talented. He's like, "Come on, work for me." He's like that kind of guy, you know. So he didn't even know what job I was going to do.
Wait, what does his kid's piano teacher do for him now?
He's like working on music for his development projects.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
So, and what had been your relationship with Lauren before that?
He had a show.
We're talking about Lauren
Oh,
Bouchard,
movies.
creator
Lauren
of
Bouchard.
Bob
He had a show
Burgers.
on Adult Swim called Lucy the Daughter of the Devil,
But
which
before
was
that,
a
home
great
movies,
show.
right?
Home movies, but I really got to know him.
Oh,
I was doing promotions for Lucy
that's
the
when
Daughter
I
of the
was-
Devil, which has John Benjamin in it and Eugene Merman. It was a great show. It was a big mistake by Adult Swim to drop that show. But anyway, I was working with him and making promos for it, and was a real defender of the show when it was up for grabs as to whether it was going to live on or not.
Wait, I have a question. Where were you living when you were doing all the Adult Swim stuff?
Atlanta.
Is that where Adult Swim is?
Right.
Okay.
That's where Turner Broadcasting is.
Got it.
What?
Oh, yes.
They have an LA
I know
office.
That's why we moved there. Because we
I
both
see.
wanted to do something in television. And my wife got to be a big shot at TBS. And
What was she doing at TBS?
she was art director, creative director.
Oh, cool.
head of marketing.
Wow.
Big
She's won like
cheese.
7 regional Emmys.
We have a whole
She keeps
basement full
her
of Emmys.
basement, yeah.
And she's still suffocatingly positive
Yeah.
despite being a big head honcho.
I mean, if you want Emmy,
She's
I'll
really
send you one.
nice.
oh my God, I don't have one. At my age in this
There was-
town, I should have one.
There was one girl, if you've ever watched Adult Swim, there are these things called black and white cards, or the bumps. So there was this one girl who was working on them, and she wasn't being treated fairly because it was such a boys' club. So I gave her an Emmy for it. So I'm going to give one to Jay when we get back. And you're
Does Mom
welcome to
know
have
about
one. You
I
can both
will-
have one.
Thank you. Would love one.
I mean, I contacted Nanis, and they said, we don't want them. Do what you want with them.
You contacted Nanis
I did.
to say what? Do you want
So
these
we've got a
back?
basement full of Emmys. I mean, do you want them? All you got to do is put new plates on them, and you can give these Emmys out again.
Do you think they were hurt a little? Like, these
Wait,
must
who
not
was the
mean
person
much
you contacted? Nanis?
The people that distribute the
And
Emmys?
NATS, National Association of Television Arts and Science.
Oh, they don't need them. They have enough.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Right, but
basically what they
also-
said.
Yeah.
I'm sure they
I hope they
were
appreciate
hoping
it.
you wanted them.
She won a bunch of them. I won 2 of them.
Yeah, but it's not as many as Mom. is it?
Oh. No, she sweet talked her way into everyone. I had to work for her.
Because she's cute and nice, right?
Yeah,
cute and
super
nice.
cute, super nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did. Was it New York to Georgia?
New York to
Florida.
Oh, why? No offense.
Good
because
question.
I grew
Very
up
good
there,
question.
Okay.
and there was a job offer there, and we
In
thought it was going to be that. The job offer disappeared as soon as we moved down.
Oh, that is not good.
So I ended up teaching and
In a prison.
in a prison,
Teaching what?
art,
Shivs.
just basically trying to stay alive. I mean, they locked me in the cell with them.
They would giggle as
They
they
would have
walked through
to.
the cell.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would have to. Otherwise,
Oh.
yeah. Otherwise,
I
prison
mean, I
break.
never criticized anyone's work because I knew what it would cost.
Yeah. How was their art?
I don't really think I want to say. Even.
Wow, to this day.
Probably still people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was all
of the
great.
So you went there thinking you were going to work in animation. Instead, you were teaching art to prisoners locked in a
Right.
cell.
Right.
That's a turn of events.
Then I got a job from Tom Canellis, who was a waiter at Pratt at a coffee shop,
A family-owned Greek coffee shop.
and he became in charge of promotion at a station in Miami, and he gave me a job, and the rest is history.
But Mom got a cool job, like working for an educational
Right.
TV network, and she would and her bosses were like always drunk or something. So she like got to do all this stuff herself, like build costumes and
I don't know if
puppets and
that's
stuff.
kind to say.
Are they still around?
Not with their drinking.
But anyway, that seems like a cool job, like working for a.
Well, Allison is
Educational
funny. We're not
show.
letting her talk nearly enough.
Oh,
I
no,
know,
you are. Thank
especially
you.
considering like
What makes you laugh?
when did
Okay,
you go to
time's
Florida
up.
last?
God, the last time I went to Florida was for my grandmother's funeral.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh, no.
She was
So that's
actually,
not
she was
funny.
kind of awful. It's not
Oh
funny at all.
no.
Okay, anyway, so, all right.
So
Wait,
Nora was born
Why
in
was she
Florida.
awful? Sorry.
Nora and her brother were both born in Florida.
She was just mean.
Yeah.
Oh, you were. Where in Florida are we talking about? Oh, you said
Fort
Miami.
Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
I'm so glad I didn't grow up there. I'm so glad.
I grew up there.
Florida's fine, and you turned out fine. But it seems like it's sort of a lack. First of all, I don't like the sun. I don't like bathing suits. I get my skin get some rashes on it in the sun. But second of all, like I feel like there's a lack of ambition there that not for everybody, obviously. Well, you got out of there, so maybe it is. But like I don't think I could have overcome it. And also, again, the bikinis and I couldn't handle that.
Well, see, I feel similarly. I feel like in terms of my constitution, I should be living on the East Coast, and I did live in New York
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
But my husband hates the sun too. And Owen, whom you met, the littler guy, he'll in the car, he'll be like, the sun, like a vampire. So do you ever think sometimes, why am I in LA? Because I do.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But I mean, I'm trapped here, I think.
Yeah.
Like John has like 1,000 friends here, and I think they'd all hate me if I left. And
Is he an extrovert? 'Cause
weirdly,
'cause
yes.
everyone knows him.
Weirdly,
and loves
yeah,
him.
He is. And he's like, yeah, I think he wasn't when he was younger because he was, like tall, and he felt like weird about being that tall. Like he felt self-conscious about it. We actually watched the Andre the Giant documentary, and John's like, now you understand, or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I cried a lot in that documentary. But he might get something from his mom. His mom like will go up to anyone and just be like, I like that flower on your shirt or whatever. And he like,
her optimism is also suffocating.
I love Ruth Murray. He will like, he loves people. I'm the opposite, where like, I'm like, I'd love to just stay home. And he's like, I love people. He just wants to talk to people, It's very sweet about him. And then like
I wish I were that way.
I wish I
were someone who just spread sunshine as I go about my day, complimenting people and truly engaging.
Yes,
I'm not either. I can try for a minute, and I've mentioned it on the show before. I'll be like, look at me, just opening up my heart and letting my goodness out and making my day.
I want to be.
It's forced. It feels forced though.
Yeah, we actually did a Bob's episode about it, where it was like, because I always identify with Bob because like. We both don't like, talking to people, I guess. And Teddy is like his friend, a regular customer at the restaurant. And Teddy is like this guy who like makes friends with everyone. And I feel like it is me, John. And like, I want to be the person that just like is life affirming and like, we're here for connections. We're here for other humans. Like, we're all the same, but I'm just like,
what are the odds that we're all alive at this brief moment?
Right,
Wait, is your mom that way though?
She is really friendly, but she doesn't like seek it out quite as much as John or his mother. I mean, I feel like you guys don't even like, you could potentially not even socialize. I mean, mom is more of the social person, but like they just like enjoy each other so much that like, I think you guys are your favorite people to hang out with anyway.
That's perfect.
I would say...
Or does that go one way?
My wife and my kids, I think, are my.
Aww.
I would rather hang out with them than anybody.
It's a weird situation where I would want to be friends with them.
Jay is inching his way up into that circle.
I think he's there. I think he's edging
your
some
best
of us
friend.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They talk on the phone every day.
Oh my God.
Every
That's
day.
so
Can
sweet.
you imagine talking to anyone every day? It's too much.
No, I can't.
I try to talk to my mom every day, who is a really good conversationalist. But I just like, it's so hard to not just like listen to a podcast or something, But she's really good to talk to because she like reads every book and every article. What?
Are we running out of time?
No.
I wanted to say.
What?
The total segue here.
Yeah. I have a segue too.
Nora and John have written some of the funniest Bob's episodes.
Do you have a favorite Bob's episode?
I do. It was written by Nora. My two favorites.
Better be between me and John.
My two favorites are one written by Nora called Work
Hard or Die Trying Girl.
Work Hard or Die Trying Girl, which is about a musical mashup of Working Girl and Die Hard.
Oh, that's great.
It's great. The songs are great, and it's really interesting. And Matt John wrote one called...
Who's Matt?
It's my brother.
That's my brother.
Oh, okay.
I almost married him.
Matt/John wrote one called Sheesh Cab Bob.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
These are early ones.
That's a really good dad.
That's when Bob tries crack.
The dad in the show, even though he tries crack, he's really a good dad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really good dad episode. So
why does he try crack?
It was a different time. And he got a nighttime job to pay for his daughter's birthday party. He got a job driving a cab, and he became very involved in the social scene of some sex workers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And transgender sex workers.
Yep.
It was a different time.
Mm-hmm.
And he hung out with them all night one time, and he came home, and he was like, he was like so excited about his night, and he's like, I'm gonna go to sleep. I think I tried crack. I'm not sure, but if I did, I liked it. And he's like, bring me a special pillow or something that Benjamin improvised. Bring me a special pillow, which makes me so happy. But that was an old one. That's a good one though.
That's my segue.
What's your segue?
My segue goes back to this is my dad. We were watching Bridge of Spies. Mm-hmm. Remember when that was an Oscar movie?
Oh.
Dad pauses it. This is in my memory. I don't know if you actually pause it. You're like, the CIA once asked me to be in it. And it's silence. Never heard this story before.
That's true.
I feel like you almost were about to start the movie again. And then, so we got into it. And at art school, was it to infiltrate hippies or something?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They approached him to be an undercover. He had a big old fro, and I don't know how many drugs you did. I feel like Mom did more drugs.
President of Pratt at that time was James Donovan, who I think was formerly head of the CIA. And he never said anything. They had somebody else talk to me. But the person that I worked for, I worked summers in a factory, and the guy who owned the factory had a connection with this whole thing. Mm-hmm. But it was just kind of a little side story that I never told the kids about.
That's amazing.
So weird.
To be in this.
How...
It's like Forrest Gump. I feel like my dad's
I never
Forrest
did join
Gump,
the CIA.
Yeah, did you consider it at all?
No.
So it just
I
one
was
meeting.
a hippie.
I see.
You turned
so they
them
were the
down.
man.
I was
To
a
be clear.
total summer of love hippie when I was up at Pratt.
So did you spit in their face?
Did you put a flower in their gun?
You don't spit in the face of a CIA agent.
But you probably wanted to.
They'd kill you.
No, I just thought I was probably high.
Hey, man, sounds
thought
pretty
the whole thing
groovy,
was-
but I'm going to go make some art.
So and I don't want us to get, wiped out
Political.
for talking about. Oh no, we can get political. I just mean I don't want to get in trouble for asking. But when a CIA agent asks you if you want to join the CIA, do they say "Hi, I'm with the CIA"?
As you can see from the shirt. Yeah.
Right. How does this happen?
He was a recruiter. I don't know.
Where
if
did
he
you
was
meet up
actually-
with him?
I don't know if he was a CIA agent.
What?
Oh,
but he worked
he
for
was
the
like a
CIA.
headhunter for the
Yeah,
CIA.
yeah, he was like a CIA headhunter.
Okay. Was he like,
Huh.
I can't tell you my name? Or he did tell you his name?
I think he did tell me his name.
But I bet it was something like Pete Smith.
I think it was John
Yeah.
Le Carre.
John Larroquette?
John there.
It was John Larroquette. It ended up being a night court. And
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, but Nora had a good question. Where did you meet? Do you remember?
where
was
did
a good
Nora and I
question.
meet?
Where did
Probably
you
the hospital, but
and
yeah.
the recruiter meet?
Yeah.
That was like a secret. Did you just meet in the president's office?
In the
or-
student lounge.
Okay. Just a student lounge, just a casual student lounge.
I think you could tell at a glance that I was not.
How
a
big were your
candidate.
bell bottoms when you met?
They were big.
Were they real big?
Yeah, I had a big fro too.
Big fro.
So he wanted you to infiltrate art students to what? Find out what kind of communist plot they're working on?
I mean,
Well, I mean,
I got to tell you, it was not like a real detailed.
Oh,
this is
yeah.
what we want you to do.
Right.
It was kind of like,
was it the anti-Vietnam movement, perhaps?
yeah, that was going on. It was kind of like
Maybe you say a good few
I don't know
things
why.
about
I don't
the
know.
war
We
over
thought
there.
you would be a good candidate for this, but I don't think you are. I know we talked a little bit, and then it was over.
I don't
Oh,
think
he
you
said
are
that?
after the talk.
This was like almost 150 years ago. I don't exactly remember.
That's the drugs talking.
I mean, the fact that I didn't tell the kids about it or anything until much later. It didn't make that big of an impression. I didn't think it was
To
that big of
you.
a deal.
To you, that's a
Right.
big deal to
I
me.
think it's
That's the fun stuff. I don't have that story to tell Gloria or Rosie if I want to tell her stories too.
You can.
Yeah? So can I use it as my
I
story?
would make up stuff to make it more interesting.
You know Ray Seahorn, right? Do you know that she was on Better Call Saul?
Oh.
She's the what is
It's like the main girl.
yeah,
I forget
she
her
played
name.
Kim. Yeah.
I love her. She's
Yeah,
the
she
best.
also was on the short-lived sitcom Whitney with Whitney Cummings
Oh.
and Chris
Is she a
D'Elia.
comedian lady?
No, but I mean she has played comedy. She's like a great actress. But anyway, so I've had her on the show a few times. Her dad was part of a big spy thing, and when she said it, I was like, I had never heard of that, but I know that this is it's like the Walker something spy something.
Texas Ranger.
Yeah, okay, I take it doesn't ring a bell. It was like the Walker. There's another word, Walker something, and she
Like
saw
spies with walkers?
No, it didn't. No, not actual walkers. Look up Ray Seahorn Walker spy. Story has less punch than I thought it might.
I'm just thinking about how much I loved her in Better Call Saul. Like,
Yeah.
She was
She was
so
great
good.
in that.
Mm-hmm.
She was like one of my favorite female characters on TV ever, maybe.
I wonder what she'll do. I feel like something was announced. Are they doing they're not doing a prequel, but
Something.
something.
They are. They're doing
they are.
a pre-prequel of Breaking Bad.
Called Better Call Saul.
I think it was called Who the Heck is Saul? It's before he was even in
Yeah.
the show. Yeah.
Okay.
Who should we call?
Right.
You don't even know about Saul.
Right.
Then it rhymes too. That's great. Okay, so you were at Current TV. What were you doing
Yes. I was. They were trying to be Daily Show, but also it was like I worked on this Yahoo segment. They had Yahoo Cars and other ones. I forget the Yahoo segments. And I was put on Yahoo Cars, and I hated cars. I think I like them. I still don't care about them.
Fartvan.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And I was like in charge of helping them produce the segments, like maybe doing a little bit of like editing stuff, and then oh my gosh, Madeline Smithberg, who helped create
Yes,
the Daily
Daily
Show
Show.
with
Liz Winstead.
She was like, "Do you want to come to LA? Because we're gonna move Current TV there before it dies." And
That's how she put it.
no, but I mean it was soon after, and I was like, I would never live in LA, never, because you guys would always go out there for work, and you'd come back and be like, it was like it's a soul sucking hellhole. And then like
You
as
still
soon as
say
they
that.
found out, as soon as they found out I was moving here because they're such nice parents, they're like, you know what? There's a lot of great stuff in LA. You're gonna
Aw.
really like it.
That's Pat's influence.
That's
Yeah.
Pat's influence, yeah. And maybe you a little bit too. You like to get excited. I mean, my dad became a giant Seahawks fan because my husband is. He's the biggest Bulldogs fan. He never went to, like, he will
Right.
take on other people's joy and get excited
That's
about
so
it in a nice
sweet.
way.
Like
Yeah.
Zelig.
Yeah. You're like Selig. I never saw that movie.
He's a cipher.
I'm
He's not so bad.
Isn't that what they say about Zelig?
I think so. I never saw Selig.
I didn't either,
Was
but
it good?
I just know the reference.
Yeah.
Does that come up a lot?
No, it's literally never come up on this podcast, and this podcast has been going for 12 years. This is the very, very first Zelig reference.
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole thing with Zelig, though? He's a cipher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the first Forrest Gump. I might keep
Yeah.
saying Forrest Gump. But he
It's
wasn't.
kind of like Forrest Gump, where he kept
Yeah.
showing up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Zelig would take on other people's personalities.
Right.
This was a Woody Allen film before.
Yes.
Right.
Before.
Before what?
Before he was canceled.
Wait, what's wrong with Woody? What did he do?
Gosh. What's it like being a showrunner?
I'm so tired all the time. And kids, it's like the worst time to be a showrunner. Like I actually have a good deal now where like I don't go into work. I get to work at 11 and I hang out with my toddler in the morning because she's only in school 2 days a week. And then I try to get home by 6 and I do dinner and bedtime. And then my older daughter, I have to lay in her bed till she falls asleep. And I come out at like 8:45 and then I worked. Like I've been working till like midnight.
Oh, God.
Which I'm not good at. I'm not good at working. Like I do it.
Are you a morning person?
No, I like to exercise in the morning, which I don't do anymore. But that's what I want to do. But I'm not going to like exercise over hanging out with my kid. That's a whole other thing. But like, I mean, show running is like, it's the same stuff I've been doing for a lot of years. And then Lauren was like, why don't we just call you a showrunner, which is nice of him to say. So it wasn't like a big change. It was kind of like I've been giving notes on stuff for a long. I guess it's sort of slowly happened in the first few seasons, but it's fine. I'm just like 22 episodes, like 22. Like right now we're in 14. And
They do a lot of
I
episodes.
just read the script for 1405, so we're just like we have so long to go. So many. And I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that we're one of like the last shows, definitely one of the last animated shows that has this many episodes. I saw on the picket line, I saw a sign that was like 24 episodes again. At first I was like 24. And then like, that's not going to happen, guys. That's not, we can't fight for that.
But were you thinking like, I don't want that?
I don't want it. I will take 12 episodes. I'll take 12 episodes and be happy. I think.
Night
lot
Country
less.
was only 6.
I know. It's so short, so British of them.
We came up during the strike we came west a couple times.
They love the strike.
Strike was
They
great.
love
Because he's
it.
a hippie.
He's a hippie. And it was equally important what you marched for and what I marched for.
I thought what they were doing was really important, and I thought it was really cool.
Oh,
that we
man.
were able to carry a sign and walk around.
They would request it. They loved it.
That's cool.
I'm still in the Writers Guild from Space Ghost days too.
Yeah.
You get a check for like $62 a year.
Yeah.
That's great.
68.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a range. Right. So you said you made it sound like you were coming out and supporting them, but really you're supporting, it's your union too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
But I was
Wasn't for
supporting.
me.
I mean, I thought what they were doing was really important. And when
I knew that it was a good, to me, not to get into the
protested
strike,
We can.
but I was like, it felt like an existential crisis. It felt like there was no way to solve it. And I still don't know if we have. But like, I didn't feel like, because we had to like leave the show and basically people didn't get paid because of it. Like production and writers to some extent. And definitely me. But that's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, so like I knew it was the right thing to do. So like every time I was like, shit, we had to like let all these people go and not pay them. I was like, we have no choice. Like we have no choice but to do A, our guild told us to, and B, like I think we're clearly on the side of the good guys for like battling the bad guys.
Yes.
So it was like that wasn't complicated. It was also very annoying as a control freak to not be able to like do anything on the show. Like just like let it go down the stream without a rewrite. That sucked.
Wait, I'm trying to understand that he said, let's just call you a showrunner because you were already kind of doing it, but you were labeled, like what was your title before? And had you assumed extra stuff or?
They keep like every writer, I think, except for the very new ones, are executive producers. So I think I was like a staff writer. Like, I don't even know what they are. Co-producer at some point. I mean, the titles don't make any sense. I used to like look at a title and be like, oh, they produce, but they don't get to write. Like, I'd rather be a writer. Like, they all, like, I didn't know any of that stuff.
Nora was there from the beginning when Lauren and Nora made the show up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
Lauren, basically, it was his idea. He, like, created the concept and everything. I just helped him with, like I helped design Tina, the older sister. And, like, I helped him write the first
You
3
are
episodes.
humble. I mean, come on. She co-created the show.
I just have, like, a compulsive need to be, like, exactly what credit I'm doing, exactly what credit I'm not doing. But
that's really cool.
it was. I mean,
Thank you for bringing that up. I didn't realize that you had helped create it.
because I worked on Lucy the Daughter of the Devil, and if it hadn't, I didn't write for it. If it had gotten picked up again, he was like letting me try writing, so he like hired me as a writer for Bob's, and then I helped him with with just like the development stuff and the first 3 scripts we wrote together.
So cool.
Yeah.
when Nora was in Atlanta, before she moved west, she took a writer's test to work for Cartoon Network, and it was really good. It was really funny. I mean, she obviously, that was the fact that she didn't get hired there was great.
Do you really think it's good? Do you really think it's good if you saw it today? Or do you remember it as good?
That was a time when
just
I
my
was
father?
judging scripts all the time, and it was really funny.
It was all right. I still didn't know what I was doing.
What did you major in at UGA?
Telecommunication arts, which sounds like telemarketing, but it's like video production. And like, but the teachers were like, I had one really good film teacher, but the UGA teachers were like, I think one of my teachers was like,
Wait, why'd you apologize to your dad?
because I know how much you love UGA, and I am happy I went to UGA. I love that I went there. But the teacher was like, you guys probably aren't going to make it.
Jeez.
And
the
he was
truth
like,
is that like so many people actually are working in television now that you went to school.
that I was friends with.
Right.
Yeah. And
A lot of them work like at Adult Swim.
yeah. And like my friend there that was in telecom taught me like everything that I learned was taught by like someone else, or I learned it myself, which is fine. Maybe that's how it has to be anyway.
The teachers might not have been good, but you got in with a really good
Yeah,
group of people.
it worked out. I was in I wasn't in a comedy troupe, but I wanted to be, and I helped them with stuff. Like I helped them with props and stuff. The Silly Spider Monkeys, and they all went on to
The Silly Spider, was that their name?
Yeah.
And they were on like the college show.
Station.
And I
They all
got
went
to
on
help them, and I was
to work
so
on
excited.
Frisky Dingo and C Lab 2021 and Archer.
Oh,
A lot of
yeah.
people on Archer was in the
And
room,
Ed
Silly
worked on
Spot-
the oh my gosh, the one late night show, Samantha Bee. He worked
Oh,
on
yeah.
Ed worked on the Samantha Bee show. Like they all went on to like do.
You know,
stuff.
Wendy Molyneux. Do you know Wendy Molyneux?
I do. I love Wendy.
Yeah.
She's one of my friends. She and I went to college together.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Does she ever talk about I bet she does not talk about Without a Box. But that was the improv troupe that she was in at Pomona.
Yeah.
She was like breakout star, one of the breakout stars of Without a Box.
Yeah.
So I feel
Can
like
I
she.
ask you about a young Wendy Molyneux?
Yeah.
Did you know, like, pretty soon, like, holy shit, this girl's got the goods?
She was hilarious. She's always been hilarious.
Yeah.
Always been hilarious. She wanted to perform. So we were both English majors.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but I remember being surprised that like, oh, you're behind the camera now, because I thought that was the direction she wanted to go, was performing.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know if she's talked with you about like her decision. I think she said that, and I actually know this because I had her and Lizzie on my show. You'd think I would know it just being her friend, but I know it more from like interviewing her. I think she said that she just felt like, I could be remembering it wrong, but just like she wasn't cut out for that life of going on auditions and all of that.
Seems awful.
Yeah.
I think it seems awful.
She plays a character on Bob's.
She does play a character on Bob's. Yeah.
Yeah, she's hilarious. And she's, really, and she was like, she taught improv for a while.
She's my hero. I mean, her and Lizzie, I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's like, I'm like, I don't want to get like sad, but I'm like, I'll never be as funny as Wendy and Lizzie. This is what I tell my therapist, who is the same therapist as Wendy. So I'm like,
Really?
Can you tell me like what's Wendy say now?
Nora's my hero.
That's
so sweet.
I've told her that 100 times.
It is
What do you
nice.
tell Matthew?
Tell him the same thing.
That Nora's your
Matt
hero?
is actually Matt is actually doing stuff that's like all these little kids are going to be out in the world like becoming better people because they had a really good like he's actually making a
We've always felt like,
serious.
since my wife and I and Nora all worked in television, which is just the most awful, insidious mass community.
yes.
That Matt's the only one that's doing something worthwhile.
Yeah. But then television.
Okay, I just have a couple more questions and then we move into segments.
Okay.
Segments.
We have some
Yes, we
segments.
studied.
Yeah.
We studied for it.
Oh,
Yeah. Pete, how does it
We're
work?
going to do those.
What?
I'll do them.
Yeah, what made you think we weren't going to? I mean, sometimes I
know.
don't get to them, though, to be honest. And
Yeah,
I
how
feel
do
like you're
we-
seeing
how
into
do we
my
make that
soul.
work?
You're just trying to stop?
Why are you trying not to do the segments?
I
No,
know.
I'll do the segments.
They're fun. You'll see.
Okay.
How does it? Wait, do you play music as well?
I play the ukulele.
He used to play
But
the guitar a little bit.
Your best friend Jay.
When I was writing songs for the Brack Show and for Cartoon Planet, I would do them sort of the same way Nora does them, which is I would sing them into a telephone, get them recorded, and then give them to somebody who knew how to turn that into music.
Okay.
But I don't know how to write music.
Now, does Jay not write lyrics? I know on Gonzales Smith he doesn't,
does.
but like,
He does.
oh, on some of these he did.
He
As well?
doesn't write any of the lyrics on that,
Okay.
but he's made a couple of albums of his own.
So how did it come to be that you guys joined forces for Gonzales Smith, where you're doing all the lyrics and he's doing all the music?
Well, he's a friend of the family. My wife,
Jack McBrayer.
his wife and my son
sister
Matt taught together.
lives in Athens.
Yeah, and Jack McBrayer
Is from Georgia.
is from Georgia, and he knew. We all knew. We just met in a bar one night. And we started talking about
Music?
music, and we all liked the same kind of music. And so I sent him some. He sent me some of his stuff, and I said, "This seems so dreary." Serious.
What?
He knows that. It seems so
He
serious.
knows how honest you'll be with him.
Seems so serious. So I
It's like-
sent him some stuff which was a little lighter. None of those things got on the record. But
Was he sending it to you for your feedback or like to see if you guys wanted to work together?
No, he knew that I had made this record that he really liked, and he just wanted to know what I thought of it.
Is that the Gary
Yeah.
McFarland?
I don't know how we were out here when Gloria was born. We were here for 3 months, and that's when I started sending him stuff back to Athens. I don't know how it happened, but
Well, when
we're writing stuff for another album.
Oh, cool.
we're
That one was such a smash hit.
I can't believe I have a copy of it in my hands. If people want to buy it, where do they go?
Do you know that
If you look it up, you can buy it online, and they'll send you.
what's it called?
Gonzales Smith, Roll Up a Song.
If they look that up.
What's the Spanish label that
It's
is
called Bobo Integral.
Bobo Integral. That's who put it out?
Yeah,
Okay. Spain.
right. We're real big in Spain. Seriously.
That's awesome.
I know.
I believe you.
It's true.
Your daughter doesn't, but I do.
Are you going to go there?
Yeah.
No.
You could be stars there.
Why don't you want to go to Spain?
To do what?
Be stars.
Just cheer
To
for Jay?
do what?
Oh, that's true. You don't really perform.
I don't play
Oh.
anything. I don't sing
You
anything.
can be the hype man.
Where I do the
Dancing on
tambourine.
stage.
Be the guy with the tambourine.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do some segments. I say let's start with Podcast Pals product picks.
Podcast
Pals product picks.
Is that you, Siggy?
No, that is. Do you know Robin Shore?
No.
She's a TV writer, not in animation though. That's her. She also is a former voiceover person. Okay, so do you have a Podcast Pals product pick, Nora?
I do. I didn't. I meant to take a picture of it because I don't know the name of the brand.
Okay.
But I can send it to you if it.
Okay.
It's basically Thai. I'm a condiment person. If I could just eat condiments, I would. Tell me if this is going okay so far.
It's going great.
I really love Thai sweet chili sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a period where I would just buy a can of beans and spinach and I would just put Thai chilies, and that's what I ate through a lot of my 20s. And I brought it back. And so now I'm like putting it on all sorts of stuff, mostly beans still. But I guess I eat a lot of beans. So anyway, it's a great condiment. I'm not sure the world's talking about it. They have it at
How
Bird's
spicy is
Cafe.
it?
It's not that bad. It's mostly sweet. It's probably really bad for you. It's a lot of sugar.
Have you ever been to Australia?
No, do they love it there?
Yeah, it's like a very common thing to get French fries with Thai sweet chili and sour cream.
Ooh,
Sour.
that
You
sounds
mix them
good.
together?
Yeah.
Or you just dip
Yeah,
them?
it's really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they'll give you like they're separate. Like they put two little things, and then you kind of
So they can.
mix as you want.
How spicy
Yeah.
would you say it is, Tony?
Almost not at all.
They
Okay.
say it, but it's, I think, like, yeah. I wouldn't give it to a child, I'd say, because they've told me they don't want it.
Like you wouldn't give it to your children.
Right. I would give it to a different child,
Yeah.
not my child, because I have to hear it. Yeah, the screaming. But yeah, that's my pick.
Has Nora taken up all the time for that segment?
No, but it sounds like you wish she had.
You want me to?
Is this so you don't pick
You had a,
you don't pick a podcast.
product. You told me one.
What?
You don't pick a podcast.
Oh, that is another way we could do this. But then I'm
Well, I'm
giving
gonna give two
attention
things real quick.
to all
I
those other
know,
podcasts.
yeah.
podcast that I'm totally into now is called Desert Island Disc, which has been on the air for about 8,000 years.
Okay.
It's great. You never run out of them. They go all the way back to the 50s, but they're really good. You know the concept?
Well, is it what it sounds like?
It's like they take sort of well-known people and they ask them what are their 8, if they were going to be sent off to a desert island, what 8 songs would they want to take?
Oh, that's
with them?
interesting.
It's real interesting.
That sounds good.
And the other thing is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Oh,
my
my
wife
God.
and I eat them every single night.
Yeah.
How many in a night?
I have 2 and she has 1.
Because of what you
That's
say?
so sweet.
Who makes that rule? You or
I
Mom?
mean, if she ever ate 2, she would just hate herself for it.
Oh, God. Okay, cool.
That's my pick.
They are
Sexism.
amazing. I know. They are amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. Now, I had a listener who are they Hershey Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Who worked, I know the package came from Hershey, Pennsylvania. He sent us fresh Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. So you've had them.
Yes.
Because people,
Wait, you've had fresh ones?
I think you can tell.
People who are into it
if you
are
have them every
into
single
fresh.
night, you can tell, oh, that one's been in the store for 2
Yes. My parents went through a Good and Plenty's phase where they were all about the fresh Good and Plenty's. Wow. Yeah.
As in,
Somehow that seems more eccentric than Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And I wonder why. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are more accepted.
I feel like when I eat a peanut butter cup that's just homemade, I feel like it's garbage. And I want Reese's.
Wait, who makes homemade peanut butter cups?
Everyone. I don't know.
It's
I've
probably
had
on
a couple.
Pinterest. I could see it, yeah.
Yeah. But they're not as good. Like,
Right.
It's like I think that the Kraft cheese and macaroni, like the crappy bag of cheese, is like better than like
I do
better
too.
macaroni.
I
and
can
cheese.
tell
do
you why
too.
Good and Plenty seems more eccentric.
I would like to know,
because
yeah.
they're not as good.
You're right.
Damn.
You're right. It's just their lack of
Becomes hard
discernment.
for Reese's.
Yeah.
It's not as good.
This is like we're getting a flash of the guy who told Michael whatever his complicated last name is. He doesn't care for that show.
Yeah.
All right.
Gilded Age.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. I did find him. I think
Oh.
Michael Cerveris.
That's the
Yes.
guy.
Yeah.
He's a
Very
great guy.
talented.
Very nice
Yes,
guy.
I know that name.
I did not know it.
I'm not getting an image of a face, but I'll go look it up later.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know Jeff Fox?
Nope.
You've probably
Okay.
met him. He's one of John's good buddies.
Yes. He cares for a Reese's peanut butter cup as well. Chocolate
Really?
and peanut butter is his favorite combination.
Right.
We should stock it and put it on his chair. And he's like, how did you know? I'm like,
Yeah.
I just guessed. Just really freak him out.
You should do. And I also heard that your daughter called everyone but him poo-poo.
Yeah.
But then she came back around and said he actually is poo-poo.
Yeah. How did he take it?
He seems okay. He said, I told him I was going to talk to you guys today.
Yeah.
He said, you're a couple Georgia peaches. And then he said, if you run out of questions, which clearly I have not, but I still wanted to mention it, ask
Yeah.
why their daughter
Yeah.
said he was
I get a
poo-poo.
little nervous. Gloria really walks the line of being like a mean bully, but also I'm like, is this funny? Is she being mean? Is she hurting people's feelings? And I'm still navigating.
I think it's okay. Does she do it to other kids?
No, she mostly does it to
Yeah.
adults.
I think they
Sometimes she
can
has a
handle
thing
it.
for like she had a bad situation with a boy at her school where I think she got like hit in the face, and so she's like, "Boys are bad. I hate them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make fun of them forever, whatever." So she's extra mean to boys.
Right.
She's been really hard on Grandpa this trip, frankly. A lot of bald head talk, like really
Terrible
leaning
things.
into it.
She said, I'm going to wake you up in the morning, which she does every time we say it. She comes and wakes us up.
She puts her little hand under the door
And
like,
she
wait.
says, I'm going to call you old man, and I'm going to call you the lady.
She sounds like a riot.
"Yeah, she is
She
funny."
doesn't like men. Do you think of us as two Georgia peaches?
I think of you as kind of a Yankee, frankly, because you grew
I
up
don't
in
think of
Minnesota.
myself.
A little, but mostly
I was born
Florida.
in Minnesota.
Mostly
raised
Minnesota.
In Florida.
Raised in Florida. Florida dirtbag. Just kidding.
Yep. It's me.
No, I have a lot of wonderful family in Florida. I love them all.
We do love Georgia. Nora and John were married in Athens, Georgia.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you meet John?
Interviewing for the show.
Oh, cool.
I went with Lauren and Jim Dotrieve, who was the showrunner at the beginning and for a long time. And it was me. And they sat me in the back, or I sat in the back to be weird. And no one introduced me at all. And I don't know if I should say, but I had really short hair then. And John is just like, who's that angry lesbian in the back that's not talking and is not being introduced? and then we got married. It was an office romance. And I think we thought it would be a lot more dramatic, but nobody cared at all. Although
Did
they
you
do
keep it a
now.
secret for a little while?
A little while. But like now they just like, it's not fun working with a married couple because you talk to each other different and
Right.
things get a little short and everybody's kind of like,
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
That's interesting. I thought you were going to say it's not fun working with a married couple because like you guys have like some kind of like power block or something. But no, it's not that. It's the way you talk to each other.
Yeah.
I get that.
There's like the niceness layer is a
Yes.
little lower with
Right.
your husband than
A little more porous. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, let's do Just Me or Everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
Okay.
Who sang that song?
That is a musician named Tom Rapp, and he goes by Trap Dog. He
Oh.
did these songs a long time ago for the
Okay.
show. Yeah.
Did he ever do anything for Comedy Bang Bang?
I don't no. Okay, let's hear your Just Me or Everyone that you've warned me is not that good.
It's not that good, but I do feel strongly about it, and it comes up a lot when I'm at play dates a lot at dinner time these days, and the mom all the moms are great, really, truly. I am lucky with my kids' friends' moms, but they'll be let's order dinner, and I'm like, okay, and I hate eating dinner early. I hate it because it's my favorite part of the day. Like,
Dinner?
I really like dinner. And after dinner, I want to watch TV and go to bed. So I have to be a real weirdo who says, like, I don't want to eat with you and your nasty kids and my nasty kids. And, like, just sit there. And I don't know if anyone else has that. Like, I like to eat late. I like to push it.
So what time do you eat?
These days it's not too bad. It's like 8:40. Well, actually, now that I'm working again,
8:30,
post strike, it's like
8 or
8:45 or 9 or 9:15. It can get really late now that I'm like after bedtime I work. And so sometimes it could be like 9:30.
You know what? I am one of those people too.
Yeah?
But it's not necessarily, it's not like I prefer it that way. In fact, my husband and I oftentimes just feel like, what are we doing? Like eating at 10 p.m. But we do so bedtime now takes so long because they sleep in the same room.
I want to hear about bedtime at some point.
I can tell you real fast now.
Okay.
So first of all, we started this, it's a long story why we started it, but like they have a snack before bedtime.
That's good. So they don't wake up hungry in the middle of the night and wake you up.
Well, I think it started because when Owen came along, I would be putting him to bed, and it was something special that Elliot got to do so that he wasn't like, I want to be with you. And so that like Daniel and Elliot would have, and then now that they sleep in the same, they still have separate rooms, but like they sleep in the same room.
Do they
now.
have the same bedtime?
Yes, now they do. So snack turns into this overly long thing that gets us in their room too late. And then we go into their room, and then it takes forever to brush teeth. And then Daniel...
Do they brush their own teeth?
Elliot does. Owen does not.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah. Although, according to the dentist, kids need help till they're like, I think she said 9 or 10 or something.
Right.
And I don't help Elliot, and I'm sure that he needs help.
I overhelp my kids all the time. I'm still feeding my 2.5-year-old, which... like all the other 2.5-year-olds are like using their fork, like cutting their little not that, but like
they all eventually get there.
Yeah.
And so then Daniel lays down next to Elliot, and I lay down next to Owen, and then we read books, and then it just the whole thing just takes. And then they fall asleep.
Are you in there laying with them when they fall asleep?
Till they fall asleep.
Yeah.
Owen goes out really quickly, so I could sneak out if I needed to, but we just don't. And then, so by the time we're like leaving their room, it's like 9, it feels like 9:30 or something.
Yeah.
And then we always have a little bit of work we need to finish. And then we eat, and then we watch TV. And I always think I should have just gone to bed. This is, and so everything gets really late.
What time do they eat dinner?
They eat dinner like around 6.
That's what I want to work towards. I want to eat dinner as a family at 6. But I don't know how that happens. Especially, we still have a nanny. But once she's gone, like, we get home from work and cook dinner. Like, I don't know how it happens.
I don't really either.
Yeah.
I don't really either. And I will admit, I feel guilty that we don't eat as a family. On the weekends we do, or special occasions or things like that. But
it's also a nightmare eating with my kids right now. Just because I have to like,
yeah.
I'm literally feeding both of them because when Gloria's the older ones with me, and reading a book because otherwise they won't sit there. So I'm like balancing the book. Like, every time our nanny really nicely makes a lot of meals for them. And when she makes soup, it's just very hard for me, and they don't like soup, so that also makes it hard. But like dinner time is like just a disaster. Like I'm not gonna. I couldn't be able to enjoy it.
Who's a 2.5-year-old? That was a bowl of soup was put in front of her last night, and she said, "Not my favorite."
That's so cute. Yeah. Pete, do you have it just me or everyone?
Do you have one?
I do. I feel like you don't enjoy my segments.
No, I do.
I will tell you, I think it's because, and maybe this is just I'm projecting similar things. Like, I get anxious that I won't have a good one, and that's why I get anxious about it. Like, I want to nail this, but I don't think I am nailing it.
No, I thought that was good.
Do you feel like that?
No.
Oh, you have a great one.
I have one, but it's about dog owners, and I don't know if this means I'm going to get a lot of hate mail or...
Oh, you're anti-dog owner?
You know what kind of I'm like if I'm going for a walk and a dog comes and just climbs on me.
Oh, yeah.
Just
no
jumps
one likes
up.
that.
And the dog is not leashed, and it's in an area where they're supposed to be leashed. And the owners just say, "Oh, he's fine. Don't worry about him at all." But
just chewing on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one likes that.
I mean, I would rather have them say, "I'm really sorry. I should have had the dog." I had one time I was walking along and the dog actually nipped my hand.
Yeah.
And I said to the guy, "Your dog just bit me." And he said, "No, he didn't." I said, "Look at
that's
this.
gaslighting.
You can see his thing." And he says, "He didn't do that."
What, some other dog did? And you're pinning it on this dog?
I do it myself.
I have no dog, sir.
Do I have a lawyer here?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, that's really annoying. No, I'm with you.
Does that qualify as one of your?
Yeah.
Do you have a dog?
I do have a dog.
Do you have a dog before the kids or after the kids?
I know, and I'm thinking to myself as you walk through, she might. So she's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, so she looks like a stuffed animal.
Oh.
I don't think I'm I don't think I'm fancy because of that.
Does she think she's fancy?
She does, yeah. And
She's
she
seen
might.
a mirror.
What?
She's looked at herself in the mirror.
Oh, she's glamorous.
Yeah.
She might bark at you. But
That's
she doesn't.
okay.
She's never growled. She's never bit or anything. She's totally. Yes, I'm just telling you.
I don't
You might
mind
get a
being
little
barked at.
These segments are great.
I don't love being bit. My dog.
No, she's never bit.
Is when people just let their dogs bark because they think it's just the sounds of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then we're all home working like during this pandemic. And also when someone's messing up a nap for the kid, I'm like, I will go to your house and rip you
Oh
apart.
my God. We had a leader of a Christian youth group move in next door, and they do you remember this?
I forgot about this.
I think they were only there for 2 months.
Oh,
or
they're not
something.
even there
Oh no,
anymore?
they've been gone for a long
okay.
time. Oh, I would never have shut up about it. So they would hold these things where they would have live bands playing in their backyard
Whoa.
Oh,
Christian
during the
bands.
week. I'm assuming. I mean, the bands weren't bad, but it's
During the day?
no, into evening when it was dark
It was
out.
time to watch TV.
And time to put the kids to bed is what it was. But also, I was just like, I don't want to live next to a festival.
Yeah.
I can hear a PA.
Yeah.
I can hear someone sound checking a PA. That's when I was like, oh no, because I had just assumed fine, acoustic jars of clay or whatever.
Right,
But when I heard them testing the PA and I heard the drums, I was like, you've got to be.
Did you
kidding me.
talk? Did you have the courage
So-
to talk to him? I never would have gotten the
I'm
courage.
trying to remember if I think you know what I think eventually Daniel went over and told them that our kid's window is right next, and then it was actually much quieter after that because I was the person who's like, we can just call the cops. We can just
Right.
call the cops. And
Yeah.
Daniel's like, we don't want to start a war with our neighbors.
Right. They don't
For
have to know
yourself.
it was you.
Yeah, I know.
Right? You can be anonymous.
Presumably, I don't know.
Right.
And there'd be 1,000 cars in the street. They all left, and now we have people that are really quiet next door, which is nice. Okay, my just mirror everyone. Am I the only one? This is a kind of gross one. Am I the only woman? I'm assuming maybe there's some dudes. I doubt it though.
Get ready.
I'll take a break.
Who has a wad of potentially used tissues in her purse, and if I need one, will pull out this
Oh my God.
everlasting tissue, and because periodically I will be like, this is disgusting. It's I can't see snot in it or anything, but it's disintegrating. This is old, and I throw it out, and then I'll be driving and I'll be like, I need a tissue because I just spilled something in my car or whatever, and I'll be like, why did I throw that out?
Yeah. Well, I have a lot in my pocket,
Mm-hmm.
especially with kids.
Yeah.
I'll be their nose is always running, and I'll get out one that's looking pretty rough, it's basically turned into a solid pillow, and I'll unwrap it. And I know this is not a good mom thing to do, but I'll use that one on them.
You do what you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they
we're the
don't
same.
care.
Is
Maybe
that
that's
just
why
a
they're
woman
never
thing?
been sick.
Tony, do you have a disgusting wad of tissues on your person?
Not normally, but if I have a cold or something, I will definitely have some used ones in my pocket that I keep just in case.
Yeah. You can't just use it once.
No. There's so much tissue acreage.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Thank you. I guess I have experience. Pete and Nora, it was so much fun having
was
you guys
so
on the
much
show. Thank
fun.
you for doing
I had
this.
an answer for one.
Oh,
Is there
This
something,
was,
something
this was
you
a
can't do
wrap
without?
up. A wrap up was ensuing.
something you can't do without. Well, that was Podcast Pal's product picks.
Oh.
What is it? I would like to hear it.
Metamucil.
My husband is on the Mucil.
It's good.
The powder.
Good. Yeah.
There's also
absolutely.
little Metamucil pills, which is probably
It works. This is a
I'm
regular.
sorry, you were doing the wrap up, but I didn't
No,
have
no, it's
one
fine.
prepared.
That's great.
Okay.
Metamucil.
That's important.
He's been trying to get, because I'll complain about things that one might need Metamucil for now and again, and he'll really be pushing the Metamucil, and I'm afraid of it.
Don't be. I don't take it,
Okay.
but I know that he is.
Don't be afraid
He's
of it.
cocky about it. He's cocky about
You're
his
like
bowel movement
every
Yeah.
night? I
Same
mean,
time.
you drink it every
Set
night?
your watch to it
Morning.
every morning.
Oh, you drink the Metamucil in the morning.
Then I come out and celebrate.
But think of never being surprised by it.
I mean, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like birth control for your butt.
I remember one time, it was either you or Matt.
It's not like
Metamucil
that,
works
is it?
really, really good. And I went down
So I
to go
hear.
to the bathroom, and I was back up in less than a minute.
Wow.
Either Matt or Nora said, "Do you even stop to wipe?"
It's a good question.
Or do you even make it to the sea?
Yeah. What's the
Sometimes-
level of like urgency once you drink it?
I don't know what kind your husband's doing, but you don't drink it and then go, "Oh no."
No, he drinks it the night before and then
Yeah, I drink
has
it.
a sojourn in the morning.
I drink it in
That
the
seems
morning,
risky.
and then I have coffee, and then it goes to work.
Seems risky the night before.
Yeah.
He might be woken up by the calling.
Yeah.
He never is though. I get up 14 times a night.
Yeah.
My husband, in the whole time we've been together, I've been aware of him getting up in the middle of the night literally once.
I
That's
mean, you've
amazing.
got all of there's like miles and miles of intestines in there. You don't like, if you take a thing of Metamucil, it doesn't like immediately go to work.
Right. But I mean, when it goes to work though, are you like, oh boy?
No, it's not like that.
His
No.
body
No, it's
has
just
embraced
gentle.
Metamucil,
Yeah.
accepted it, and
Do you bring it
part
with
of
you
him.
when you travel? Like, have you brought it out here
yeah,
in a little Tupperware?
What are you, crazy?
yeah. He took a hit right before this podcast.
I did.
Do you bring it in a Tupperware? Do you bring the whole canister?
I
Purchase one here.
Do you have a travel Metamucil?
I bring it in a bag, and then I dump it into a
Does
bowl.
the TSA look at it?
Right.
They have.
Do they try? Do they lick a finger and say it in?
I said, I mean, I did buy a small container with this is still part of the show.
Yeah.
I brought a small container, and the TSA in Atlanta looked at it, and as soon as he opened up and looked at it, he
He
said,
shit himself.
"Oh, he got it."
It's a Pavlovian.
Oh, he did.
I completely understand why you need this. Traveler's constipation.
Wow.
Good luck to you, sir.
It seems like
Safe
you had
journey.
a moment.
Yes, we did.
That's nice. Now, you've never tried it, but it's been pushed on you.
I think I did maybe try it once or twice,
You
but
don't need it. I'm the only one in the family who needs it.
Ah.
I don't know if that's
Your
true.
brain controls your poop.
What?
Yeah, what?
Yup. It's a whole nother
What?
show.
That's the name of the
Wait, is
podcast?
this a mind-gut connection? Because if my husband doesn't shut up about that, I'm divorcing him.
It's true.
Okay, that's what I hear.
Have you
I do
never
not
heard of
think that's
traveler's
true.
constipation?
Oh, yeah. Have
That's-
heard of it.
that's
I
what
get it all the
is.
time.
It's
yeah.
Not, it's
I guess
not
you're
like
right.
if you go to a motel or an Airbnb that there's something on the.
Right.
If
the air
my
that
brain
makes-
was controlling it, it would say stop having diarrhea right now. Don't you think? I feel like the brain's not doing a
I would
good
talk
job
to
of
my brain
controlling
about
it.
that.
Huh?
I haven't talked to my brain about that.
Yeah. Too scared.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
I guess.
No, it was great. I would like to remind everyone I have a Patreon.
Where's my sorry?
Patreon.com/Allison Rosen. I just put up a bonus episode wherein I gave all the behind the scenes details on my recent For Crying Out Loud episode and other stuff. And if you subscribe, if you go for an annual subscription, you get 2 months free. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen. And then for all of my other stuff, and it's totally rude that I'm doing my own plugs before the guests, but now I'm in this far. Allison'sLinks.com. Subscribe to my newsletter. It's fun. Okay, Nora, where might we find you? And please plug anything you'd like to plug.
So excited for all my plugs. All I do, the only thing I do is work on Bob's Burgers. And I think it's still on television. It's on Hulu. I don't know when
on
they come out.
Fox.
I don't even know when they come out anymore. It gets preempted all the time. I wish I had a more interesting plug.
No, that's good.
My dad's album is really good. I honestly really like it, and I like.
And it has
Fine,
your
extremely
artwork from when
enjoyable.
you were a kid on the front.
Yes,
love that. The masks.
Yeah, those are
Pete,
I would plug the exact same two things: Bob's Burgers and that.
Roll
record.
Up a Song by Gonzales Smith. Tony,
Yep.
what about you?
Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
and if this is coming out Monday, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, I'll be playing a show with Jonah Ray again with his Weird Al punk cover band.
You know him.
He's in a new movie called Destroy All Neighbors. They're showing it at Vidiots, and then they're doing like a Q&A screening and all that, and then we're also going to play after the movie. So that's Thursday if you're in LA.
It's so
Nice.
fun. That movie looks really fun.
Yeah, I'm
by the
excited.
way.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited.
I haven't seen it, but I like horror comedies. So
Yeah.
Did he
I
make
feel like I like it.
Barbarian?
Huh?
Did he make Barbarian?
No, that's a different guy.
Oh.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen show?